What up, my guys? Welcome to another show, man. It's NBA Talk with Jay. Last day of October in 2022, my guys. Some people may say Halloween, but I don't really care about that, to be honest with you. But it's talk some NBA picks, man. It's what this challenge is about. Free sports picks every single day. NBA is what we do, my guys. I'm your host, Jay Money is Money, and this is my guy, Rob Veno here from Wager Talk, man. What's up with you, Rob? Everything cool with you?
Hey, it's a new week, Jay. Everything's good. Yeah. You always look forward to the start of a new week, right? Roll over the page. Actually, some people think when Monday Night Football ends, that starts a new week. But, we're into NBA now, so Monday morning starts a new week, basically. But, yeah, looking forward to it. I know we're on a basketball show real quick, but for those of us that are betting all the football, there's a football game on every day for like the next, 40-something days. Tuesday football, Wednesday football, Thursday football. So we got a lot of action, buddy. We're happy here.
Yeah, I'm happy, man. Happy as well, my guys. We love to do it, man. We love to do it. But what do you say here, Rob? Let's go ahead and talk about some NBA games. We got 7 games on the slate today, my guys. 7 tough games. Well, let's talk about them here. First game up, we're going to the streets of Washington, D.C. here, the capital of U.S. You know what I'm saying? We got the Wizards getting 4 points here. You got the 76ers laying 4 on the road here, my guys. Joel Embiid is questionable in this game. So we'll just start with that. Rob, you like anything in this game, my brother?
Well, without Joel, it does make the handicap different, right? We've seen it once before. They played Toronto last week without him. And surprisingly, Jay, it was one of their better defensive efforts. Mm-hmm. I mean, as somebody who went in and played Toronto team total over 107 that night, I thought that was, almost like legalized stealing until Toronto showed up with 90 points. And then I realized there's no such thing as legalized stealing. But I do wonder if the Sixers can duplicate that type of defensive effort if he doesn't play. He didn't go through shoot around. Mm-hmm. He's sick in some capacity, flu or whatever. Flu seems to be running through NBA locker rooms right now and NFL's at the same time. But I'm inclined to bet over here because Washington's in second of back-to-back. Mm-hmm. And boy, did they have a miserable shooting performance yesterday. Everybody up and down the lineup, from Kuzma to Beal to Morris. Not that I expect a ton out of Monte Morris, but still, the entire team shot lousy, 39% from the field. It was a season low, 21.9% from three, another season low. They had been shooting pretty good up until that point. And a defense without Embiid makes me feel like we know how this goes, right? A guy gets announced questionable, and automatically the lines tumble. Mm-hmm. And this one, I think, Jay, correct me if I'm wrong. I'll even check now. I thought it was like 216 before we came on, the total. I'm looking at 216 and a half.
I know that this point spread, obviously I'm not a huge total guy, but looks like it opened at 221 and it's come down all this way. But I just know as far as like the spread, I know it had reached up to 5.5 this morning for Philly. And then, like you say, the guy's not even ruled out. He's just only questionable, right? New age NBA, only questionable. And it's starting to go down to 3.5 here at some spots here. We don't even know if he's in or out, guys. He wasn't sick versus Chicago over the weekend. He owns those guys, man. So that gives me even more. It's like these players in and out. It's early season. These guys are really treating it like preseason, Rob. They don't care about these first 2 weeks of the season, man. So you see it with a lot of these players on the end popping up on the injury reports. You kind of have to question if they're injured or if it's just like some early season load management here. But this is the first game of a little home and home as well. They play, so it's the last game of their 4-game road trip, and then a couple of days they play at home in Philly versus the Wizards here as well. So it's just, I don't know. Maybe Embiid just didn't want to play versus the Raptors and then chose to play versus the Bulls, and then maybe he doesn't really want to play versus the Wizards. Who knows? But yeah, the total, I thought I saw it at open at 221, Rob.
And now we're looking at 216 and a half. I got it in front of me now. To me, that's too big of a drop, Jay. Lots of times we do have to project a little bit of guesswork and take our shots when we think we see a price. And I'd be willing to take a shot at 216 and a half based on the fact that Washington should shoot better here. I don't expect Philly without Embiid to be that good of a defense. However, if he does play, I get that much more offense anyway. A game that should have been line 221. Now I've got him and I'm at 216 and a half. And what's interesting here, Jay, I don't know, you probably noticed this too, but the game without Joel Embiid, it's like James Harden went away again, wouldn't shoot the basketball. Now I'm a facilitator, and they don't pay this guy $38 million a year or whatever to be their second best player and not shoot the basketball when Joel Embiid's not on the floor. It's crazy. They questioned him about it. I saw a quote. He said, yeah, I helped with assists and rebounds. Sometimes you can't always shoot good, but he's only taken 22 shots his last 2 games. It's somewhere he's got to get better too. I think as we sit here, we do this mid-afternoon. I think I would take my shot with Philly, Washington over 216.5 tonight.
Yeah, that's a good point there. I feel like the pace really picking up, in my opinion, Rob, without Embiid out there. And I was thinking to myself, maybe Embiid slows it down. We know that he's not in the greatest of shape right now. He can't just necessarily get up and down the floor really fast. And he does add some paint protection as well. But I think their offense, it was kind of crazy. I mean, we talk about it right all the time. Embiid out, everybody hops on the Raptors. They went up to 4.5 from +1. And then the Sixers go out there and smack them up. I'm talking about ever since the get-go. I believe they covered the trifecta there. So it just from what I saw, though, it seemed like they played a lot faster without Embiid. So maybe if Embiid's in there, maybe it helps the under. If he's out, it sounds crazy, but the pace probably quickens up. And Harden, that's probably why Harden turned into a facilitator, Rob, because now they're running and gunning. You see what I'm saying? When Harden was getting most of the shots, it was okay. Embiid he's demanding a double team or something like that. Then they can really open up Harden. So without that, you can focus on Harden a little bit more, and it leaves guys like Tobias Harris, Tyrese Maxey. He had a really good game without Embiid over there. So if you guys player props, in theory, Tobias Harris and guys like Maxey should have a better game here, my guys. Let's go over here to is that sit on that one, Rob? Maybe lean to the over in that one.
I would probably lean to the over. Yeah, I would take my shot, Jay. I'm just looking now. I see one offshore just went down to 3.5 as we speak. So these lines will move all day long.
Exactly. Staring at the Wager Talk odds screen right now, Rob, looking at these lines move all over the place, man. But let's go over here to the streets of Charlotte here, man. We got the surprise Hornets here, Rob. They're coming off a big win versus the Warriors over the weekend. Not really sure what to do with this team, Rob, right? You never know when they're going to show up. You never know when they're going to get blown the hell out. They don't have LaMelo Ball. I hadn't played with him all season. Terry Rozier is out, so they were out there 2 point guards, and you know what's happening? And I got to give guys like Nick Richards coming off the bench as well. Guys playing really good basketball. Dennis Smith Jr. is showing that he still has some tread on the tires and is really flourishing in this opportunity for the NBA here. Not real sold on guys like Bouknight coming off the bench and stuff. But this is the game, Rob. Kings flying cross country for the first time this year. I mean, what are they doing? Do they get their second straight win, or you think that it's a tough travel spot for the Kings here?
Could be a tough travel spot, but I don't know how much of that I factor in here in this game, which when you're Sacramento, you look at this game and it's winnable, right? It's Charlotte. It's winnable. Right. And for Charlotte, the same thing. I'm surprised, Jay. Maybe you aren't, but I'm surprised at how well Charlotte has played offense.
Right.
Without LaMelo and, without these other guys. They've scored 120 plus in 4 of their 6 and 112 plus in 5 of their 6. I mean, they only had one dud of an offensive game. And here, they're going to play against Sacramento, who's the 27th ranked 3-point defense. Should be some open looks for Charlotte. Even more surprising, how about Charlotte's the best 3-point defensive unit in the league? Now, they don't guard twos, and they don't stop high field goal percentages, but they do stop threes. This addition of Keegan Murray to the Sacramento Kings offense is wonderful. Helps De'Aaron Fox, helps everybody out on this offense. They look really good to me. They look like a team that, and we see this line really go in their favor here this morning. A lot of money towards Sacramento, but I think they could end up being a slight surprise.
We lost Rob for a sec.
There we go. We're back.
Yeah, we back. What up, Rob?
I think it leads me again, Jay, to a game that should be high scoring. We're looking at 231. Slight lean over, but maybe even a no lean on the game, because I don't want to lay these points to Charlotte at home the way they're playing, even though I like Sacramento a little bit. I think maybe first half might be good too. If in fact travel is a problem, Jay,
that's a good point.
It probably shows up on the defensive end for Sacramento, allowing Charlotte to score. So I'll say no side play, but I'd probably look over in some capacity.
Yeah, you make some good points there. And the only reason why I worry about the travel for them because they are 0-4 against the spread last four in Charlotte, and they're also 0-5 straight up last 5 games played over there as well. So one key thing, and this is something that I already know, but when you hear the players and the coaches say it, Steve Kerr said it. I mean, he said that you could maybe throw in that traveling cross country. Obviously, it's a tough game with it being your first game of the year going cross country and the first game on that trip. He said it's tough flying cross country. What are the Kings doing? They're going from California, from the west all the way to the east. So that's the thing that people really don't think about. It could just be, water on the bridge. Personally, guys, I think the Kings are the better team, have the better constructed roster right now. But obviously, with that, like the travel spot, nobody looks at things like that. And I do think they could possibly affect the team. So I would lean Kings here. I understand why the money's come on them from +1 to -3, but I probably won't be laying it just for that situation. Later in the year, once they've already done it, it's second, third time going to the East. You already acclimated to it. But guys, like you said, Keegan Murray, some of the younger guys, you got Malik Monk going back versus old team. I want to take the Kings here, man. I think they're the better team. Hornets keep surprising. They keep playing over their head. This team is not supposed to be that good, but they're playing well, man. So I don't know what to do with this game. I would lean Kings, but I'm not betting it. Basically, especially off of the travel, and they hadn't fared well in over there in Charlotte. But they are the better team, in my opinion, searching for wins. Tough game, man. Kings or nothing. I would lean Kings, my guys. Let's go over here to the streets of Brooklyn here, Rob. We got the Nets here, laying 8.5. Rob, it's tough right now, my guy. I must say, man. With the Nets have a good roster. They got Seth Curry back, right, Rob? He went 0 for 5 in the first game. That's not going to happen again, I'll tell you that. Can we trust the Nets, man? I already know the answer to this, but can we trust the Nets here, Rob? Laying 8.5.
Man, when I think of the Nets, all I can think of is one of your favorite lines. What are we doing here with this Brooklyn Nets? What are we doing here? I trusted them the other night. That was a bad move. Pacers shot it really well, and the Pacers don't really defend. The offense hasn't been the Nets' problem. They have no problem scoring points. Joe Harris is back in there now. I don't think Seth Curry, I think I saw him questionable for this game. Maybe some injury management is what they're calling rest now. But still, it's funny when I read an article this morning, Jay, that says Nets look to focus on defense. They can't play defense. They just can't play defense. So when you play Indiana, you're going to have to outscore them. Indiana played with half a roster the other night and still beat them. Benedict Mathurin went crazy, scored over 30 points in that game. That's another rookie who's just a tremendous addition to a team. And suddenly, some of the things that I thought I was going to be able to bet the next couple of weeks, for instance, fade Indiana first half because they started the season 0-4 against the spread first halves. All of a sudden, they're playing really good in the first half last couple of games. So Indiana's made a little bit of a bounce back here. So I don't know. It's the second of back-to-back. Well, not really back-to-backs, 2 and 3 nights, but you get the point. Second night in this gym. The only thing I can do with the Nets right now is look at overs because it's all they play. It's all they do. They shoot it well. Kyrie and Kevin Durant get theirs, and the other side gets more than they do. So they wind up losing games. Until I see something different, I can't really play. I got beat over the head with the Nets the other night, so I'm not going to try it again.
Yeah, in theory, it's supposed to be a net spot. This Pacers team, not really a ton of defense. They try to beat you with offense, man. But the problem is the Nets aren't playing defense. But Rob, real quick, I just wanted to know because I do see money coming in on the under. Did the Nets, was this recently where they said they're going to try to pay more attention to defense?
I just read it this morning.
So that was
I just read it this morning. Yep.
In theory, I can sit up here all day long and tell you what, in theory, I don't really trust it enough to bet it, but the Nets are supposed to come out here with something, guys. They're supposed to come out there and smack them, man. This Pacers team, especially now, you got a lot going on. Like TJ McConnell and Turner didn't play in the first game. They're questionable. They could come back here. It's the first game of a back-to-back for the Nets here, so they play the Bulls tomorrow. But I can tell you this, from rest advantage alone, guys, this is what I'm going to start doing. I'm going to start acting like I don't even know the players. I don't even know what's going on with the Nets here. In theory, this will be a fade spot for the Pacers, guys. Fifth straight road game Fifth game in 8 days, all on the road. Seventh game in 11 days. This would be a fade spot for the Pacers. Even more with a run and gun type of team like they are as well. They're supposed to run out of gas here in the second half. So this is not the spot that you'd like to be in, betting on the team seventh game in 11 days. Obviously, the Nets are playing at top level, guys, but I wouldn't be – oh, boy. Wouldn't be surprised at some point they get a smack C spot. Will I bet on it? I can't do it, but just the way I look at the game, the Nets should come out here with something. Obviously, when you lose to the Pacers, you get your quality checked, right? It's like, damn, we out here losing to the Pacers, bro. Like, seriously, man. Kyrie and KD kind of got to have a little talk. This doesn't have nothing to do with Nash. Y'all on the floor. Ben Simmons, right. Seth Curry, all that. You got to have a little talk. We can't be losing to teams like the Pacers if we want to be something. I mean, come on now, bro. We got our quality insulted, man. So 4 straight games. I could see a little bit better effort from the Nets here. I wouldn't be surprised if they went over their team total. Wouldn't be surprised if they kept the Pacers under their team total as well. They only have 3 guys scoring the ball, guys. That's Buddy Hield, that's Halliburton, and that's Benedict Mathurin. That's the only 3 scorers they have. So you lock in on them, make the rest of the team beat you, man. It's really not that fucking hard, but I need to see it. I mean, I'm not trusting my money with the Nets, guys. I'm just here to break you down with the games, let you know how I'm looking at it. I lean the Nets here, especially in the quick revenge spot as well. But mainly 7 games in 11 days for the Pacers here. 5th straight road game, 5 games in 8 days. Not a bet on the situation, my guys, no matter what the team name is. Let's go over here to the streets of Toronto here, Rob. We got the Raptors land 3 points versus the Hawks. Van Fleet questionable here, Rob.
Yeah, it's a difference maker, I think, whether he goes or not, but maybe not that big of a difference maker, right? Toronto, if you just scale them down, and they're one of the shorter rotations in the league, Jay. They're like 7, 8 guys and that get all the minutes and nobody else really goes for them. If you minus out Van Vliet, they can still be okay, but you want to have somebody at least that's going to contest Trae Young, who's on a heater right now. Trae Young has been 3 games straight now, just tearing it up. However, the opposing point guard, and I don't have the exact numbers of how many were scored on Trae Young, but the opposing point guard in all those games has done well as well. So Trae's getting his opponent's getting his, and Hawks all of a sudden are becoming a high-scoring team. In this instance, I think Toronto, boy, the defensive aspect of this game has to go all towards Toronto. Saw what they did against Philadelphia. I think that second game against Philadelphia might have been a little bit of a letdown. Joel Embiid's not playing. We see it in the NBA all the time. Star doesn't play. Team doesn't take it as seriously. They get beat. But on the defensive end, with all those guys across the front line, I just think it could be a little bit tough for the Hawks here to match what they've been doing offensively. Numbers real cheap here for whatever reason, Jay. I mean, 3 points at home. Toronto, it almost looks too good to me. To take Toronto here. Pascal Siakam has been playing really, really well at this point in time. The rest factor, even on both sides here. So I didn't play this game. I mean, if I had to, we're talking to an audience here, I'd probably take a slight look at Toronto here at home, minus the points. Gary Trent Jr., very, very capable of lighting it up as well. So that's probably the way I'd look. But it's a tough game. It's a tough game because I see the Hawks getting a little bit better the last couple of games after maybe stumbling through the first few.
Yeah, I can't take the Raptors here without Van Fleet. I can't do it. He's there. He's really on. I mean, they got Malachi Flynn, but they're not playing the minutes right now. So when you look at it, Van Fleet is really the only he's really the only point guard on the team. He's the best 3-point shooter on the team as well. Gary Trent Jr. can get hot. Scotty Barnes can shoot a few threes. Siakam can shoot a few threes as well if you leave them open. But they're not necessarily the greatest of 3-point shooters, guys, if that makes sense. They can make threes if you're not playing them out there, but if you're playing tight defense, I don't want to trust them knocking them down. Van Fleet is the best 3-point shooter on the team. It's crazy to say, but he's the best offensive player on the team. I think it would be huge if he's out. If Van Fleet is out, I'd be looking towards the Hawks and the under in this game. Obviously, it is their 4th straight road game for the Hawks here, coming off their loss versus the Bucks, which they played them tight. Teams haven't really been playing the Bucks tight other than the Sixers game in the first one, but Hawks played them really tight. That one final score wasn't really indicative of how that game was going, but I'd lean towards the Hawks here. I'd lean towards the under as well. Obviously, you gotta wait on Van Fleet here, but maybe the fact that he's questionable says that he's probably out in this game we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. The Raptors play some really good defense as well, guys. It's what they're doing. That's their calling card. Defense, defense, defense. That's how they want to win. If you watch them play, some of the most stickiest defense in the NBA, my guys. Them and the Cavs, I'd say they play really good defense. But yeah, I think the Hawks have a tad bit offensive edge here if Van Fleet is out, and we know that both teams will bring the defense. I'd be looking at under and the Hawks in this one. Probably have to wait for Van Fleet in that one, my guys. Let's go over here to the streets of Milwaukee here. We got the Bucks laying 13 points at home. They've been at the house chilling, mowing teams down. You got the Pistons on a back-to-back off of huge win versus the Warriors there. They're getting 13 points. Don't really have a center in this game because Jalen Duren is ruled out here, Rob. Isaiah Stewart's not a center. Be interested to see what happens in this game, my brother. Total sitting at 224.
Yeah, that's in my notes here, Jay. A couple of things that you said for the Pistons back-to-back with travel, and it's their third in the last 4 days. The minutes that the starters played, including Cade Cunningham, 39 minutes for Cade last night at point guard. Everybody played 31 plus. That was a starter. That's a lot of minutes. Then when you go on the road to play the Bucks, Isaiah Stewart did have a double-double last night. It's a different world with Brook Lopez playing you. All of a sudden, he's got his defensive game back to start the season. And, of course, they come with energy. Guys like Bobby Portis matches up real well with Isaiah Stewart. So it's not going to be a double-double. Easy pickings for him again here tonight. Detroit's defense has gone away. And they're 6-1 to the over this season. They've allowed 49% from the field or better, 49% minimum or better in 5 of their 7 games. And the way the Bucks shoot the ball, they get a lot of close range shots on breaks. And then even when it comes to threes, again, generally I don't like to lay these double-digit points, Jay, but I think if there is a situation, this is it. This got blowout written all over it in my mind. Detroit could very well tire, be fatigued second half. This thing gets separation, and the Bucks go from there. Their bench, Milwaukee's bench, doesn't necessarily give up backdoor covers. I mean, that's a bench that can extend, at least keep the margin or even extend it. So I can't see Detroit here. I like Milwaukee. I would probably play Milwaukee at this price.
Yeah, that's a good point there. Yeah, Milwaukee. I'm not betting against them right now. I'm telling you that, man. 5 straight games at the house. They're 5-0 and 5-0 straight up and against the spread last 5 games. Absolutely mowing teams down, man. They've been at the house as well. This is something key with my NBA handicapping. I don't bet against teams that's been at the house. Like 5th game of that homestand, you're at the in the same gym, not having to travel anywhere, and you're on a hot streak as well. So I could see the Bucks getting it done. They do. This is the first of a little home and home with the Pistons as well. So only thing is you worry if the Bucks really take them serious here. They know they can win this game with ease, so maybe not the best of game from the Bucks, but I'm not betting against them. I'm with you, Rob. It's Bucks minus 13 or nothing in this one. They're smacking teams up. Giannis looks like he's ready to go back to make another championship run, at least try to. So that's the whole thing. If you can stop Giannis, you can stay close with the Bucks. If you don't, they're going to smoke you here, my guys. So this one's all about motivation for the Bucks. If they have motivation, they'll blow this team out by 20-plus points. If they don't, they might win by a few points, my guys. Let's go over here to the streets of Utah here, Rob. We got the Jazz getting 2 points at the house versus the Grizzlies. Desmond Bane's on the injury report here. So, Rob, here we go with this shit again. Here we go. Total sitting at 229. Rob, you like anything here?
Yeah, that whole backcourt, right? Ja even has a question mark next to him. I mean, can't expect us to have really good opinions on games when we got all these question marks up and down the Memphis lineup. And I get it. Memphis last year, they had some kind of crazy record without Morant, right? They, I mean, Tyus Jones comes in and he played phenomenal again the other night in replacing Ja Morant. So they do have pieces, but you can't take this many away. Dylan Brooks had a big game the other night as well. But if I don't have Bane and I don't have Morant, I can't really, well, I guess I could play the other side. I don't really want Utah right now because I think they're a hair bit. I don't know. Maybe they caught some people off guard early and things are going to change. I just don't know what to make of them yet. They started Colin Sexton the other day. They're starting to build back his minutes. And once he gets to real minutes, I think they could be tough. But I don't know, Jay. This is really hard with this injury report.
Tough game, man. You still there, Rob?
Hard, and it's hard to understand who's going to be in the lineup. So
Right.
I'll just pass that game. I'll pass and I'll lean on you. You tell me.
I do not care about this game one bit, guys. Personally, I'd like to come in here and take the Grizzlies. Like you said, Morant questionable with an illness. Did you eat some pizza over there in Utah? A little food poison over there? But that's a good one right there, Rob. But yeah, then Bane questionable with an ankle here. I mean, it's got a laundry list of injuries, man. They're still without Zaire Williams. Conchar off the bench. Look, he's going to come back here. Laravia is questionable with an illness here. And Sexton started the other day because Conley was out. So Conley will be back for the Jazz. Mm-hmm. Rudy Gay still out. Kessler went through shoot around. This Jazz team, like you said, we didn't expect them to be good. They're playing well. Will Hardy is really doing something with the offense. They have a lot of motion offense. That's why I'm watching this team, because I got to learn about this team, man. This team ain't supposed to be this good. Their offense is really fluent. Marketing is really flourishing over there as well. Clarkson can come in there. So they still have great players. I do think they will start to trade some guys. They're already talking about possibly trading Clarkson over there. But it's a tough game, man. In theory, Grizzlies should come and get it done here, especially after losing the first game. It was close. They only lost by 1 point, even without having Ja Morant here. I don't care. If I'm betting the Grizzlies here, I need Ja Morant and Bane in there. They're the best two players on the team right now, my guys. So I need that backcourt in there, especially going up against this Jazz team that people are overlooking, and they just keep winning and playing good basketball. They don't care about your projections. They don't care about tanking. None of that shit, man. They're playing better basketball than they were last year with Gobert and Donovan Mitchell over there. They have a whole new team. That's why it's so crazy, guys. You get all these new players over there, 4 new starters, 6 new rotation players. It's supposed to be a jailing time, and it's just not happening, guys. They're coming out there smoking teams. So I don't know what to do right now with this team, and I'm not betting this game. I don't even care about this game. I'm sorry, guys, but I need Morant and Bane in there for sure. Not banged up, ankle, illness, all that. I need them 100% to take the Grizzlies, my guys. So I hope it makes sense. I'm not trying to gamble here. Last game up here, Rob. We got the Clippers laying 9.5 versus the Rockets here, my guys. What are we doing here, Rob? The Clippers are really struggling right now. Like I say, even if they blow out in this game, pre-game, can we trust them to lay 9.5 versus anybody? Just lost back-to-back versus the Thunder, a team that didn't really have any centers out there. Well, I mean, the Clippers played damn near everybody in that second game, Rob. What's going on here?
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the 2 games that they won, Jay, I mean, the games that they won were by 6 over the Lakers and by 2 over the Kings. And that's it. And the rest has been garbage out of this team, a team that's expected to be, I mean, at least I'll say this personally, I expected them to be a contender for the Western Conference Championship, right? And so far, they're not showing me. Now, they bring Paul George back in the second game of that Oklahoma City back-to-back, and he's horrendous. So I think maybe Paul George will show up yesterday, right? And he doesn't show up again, really, on the stat line. So I don't know what's going on here. I really don't. Kawhi's still not playing. They should have the depth to overcome stuff like this, but nobody's playing well offensively at this point in time. And it leads me to believe that Houston, listen, it's a bad team with a bad defense, but it's a team that doesn't quit because they're so young. They just want to go out there and play 48 minutes. And the backdoor potential with a 9.5-point spread is always there for the Houston Rockets. To me, you know, I'm too scared to do it, because there's always the thought in the back of my head that this is going to be the night where the Clippers break out, and then you're on the wrong end of that. So you just wait till that happens, and then you start playing their games. Right. And I think that's what I have to do here. I have to just wait and see when the Clippers get it together and then start playing their games. But right now, Jay, they're a mess. I mean, yesterday's game was not good, and I know Zion Williamson came back, but you got to be better than that. LA at home against New Orleans, a team in the West that's going to, you know, be in the mix at the end. You got to at least be better than what they were yesterday. They weren't. And again, the 2 losses back-to-back against Oklahoma City. That's a team that's probably the best way to compare this game, Jay. Oklahoma City and Houston are very comparable in the fact that they're so young and they just go out there wired and play hard for 48. And Oklahoma City got straight up wins. They're probably a little better than Houston, but plus 9.5. Houston might be the right side. I'm just a little too scared to pull the trigger.
Yeah, Rob, you said something really key there, and that's exactly where I'm at right now with a lot of the teams. It's unfair because it's like half the teams right now where I need to figure them a little out, man. The sorry teams are playing good right now. The good teams are playing trash. You see the Warriors? They lost back-to-back games to the Pistons and the Hornets, my guys. It's them, they're double-digit favorites here, man. I'm not sure what the hell is going on right now. This Clippers team is not this bad, guys. I'm talking about Rob. Their second team could be starting. You see what I'm saying? They have starters coming off the bench here. They're 1 through 12 deep, one of the best coaches in the NBA. And I mean, you lost back-to-back to the Thunder. I can't explain it, guys. I don't know what's going on. Some of these teams are literally treating this like it's preseason. Some of them are tapering off. I feel like the bad teams are playing their guts out like it's the playoffs right now. And then the good teams are still playing like it's preseason. That's exactly what happened. But you said something really key there. You don't want to bet against the Clippers because you know they're a really good team. You don't know when. I mean, we're just talking about us personally. We don't know when it's going to come. Now, just how I look at the Rockets games. They shoot a lot of threes, right? They play really good in first quarters, first halves. Second half on the road, the defense really goes away. You see what I'm saying? If they're not making their threes, they have blowout potential every single night, the Rockets do, because they just start chunking up shots, man. I'm watching Jalen Green and Kevin Porter Jr., best couple of players on the team. When they're rolling, when they're feeling it, they're in the game, they're balling hard. Once it starts to get away from them, they'll go down and just start chunking up shit or turn the ball over, especially on the road. It's a little better at the house, but on one end, I wouldn't be surprised if the Rockets young guys keep this one going. Clippers come in unmotivated like they have been. But what if the Clippers do come in smash mouth, ready to smack somebody and bring the defense? They could stifle the Rockets if they want to, guys. So we said all that to say it's a stay off game. Watch it and learn, man. But I'm not betting the Clippers until they're in their groove. That was another key thing you said, Rob. Once they're in their groove, that's when we bet them. It's not right now, my guys. It's not right now, man. But let's get over here to some free picks, my guys, and talk about some. Got my guy Rob here from Wager Talk. It's $9 Monday over at Wager Talk, guys. You know we pair with him. We got to have a $2 Tuesday capper on tomorrow, all that good stuff, man. But $9 Mondays, they got top plays up for $9 at the Wager Talk site. Rob, what you got going over there at Wager Talk, and any free pick for us tonight on the card, my brother?
Yeah, real quick over there, Jay. The best bet of the night happens to be in the World Series. It's up and available right now. Okay. Wagertalk.com. $9 Monday, always a good day, guys, to check out anybody you like at wagertalk.com because of the pricing. I'm also going to have NBA, obviously, up and available later in the day. And we'll look to get an early college football game up for you so you can have your choice of stuff on $9 Monday. Always good to have stuff to choose from. If you're not yet a member, just go to wagertalk.com, drop your email address, and you'll get free access to all the media content, video content that we provide each and every week, starting with today. New week of football videos, new week of basketball videos, hockey videos, whatever you're into, World Series videos. You can find it at wagertalk.com. Jay, I'm going to say real quick here, because we went through a lot of games where we were talking about a lot of injuries and not a lot of opinion because of the injury report. And I know that on plenty of days you do a later show as well. And our opinions are always subject to change as these days go on. That's the nature of the NBA. We just, at this time of day, it's hard to tell. You wake up in the morning, you make some plays. The afternoon comes, you find out some stuff. Maybe you make some more plays. The nighttime comes, you finally figure out who's playing and you go for it there. But you just have to be careful in this league with these injury reports. It's very tough to be committed to a play on a lot of these games. But for me, and a best bet today, I'm going to say this. I'm going to go right back to where we started, because I love to capitalize on, Jay, is the overreaction in these point spreads to injury. We talked about it right off the bat. Joel Embiid is questionable. Bang. Can't bet the Sixers. Bang. Got to bet under because Joel's not playing. I love to capitalize on that. You can make a lot of money that way. I think over 216.5, because we've got such value in that number right now, especially considering the fact that the Wizards had such a lousy offensive night last night. I just don't expect Bradley Beal, Kyle Kuzma, everybody in that lineup to be poor again. Porzingis wasn't good last night. So give me the Wizards and the Sixers up and over 216.5 in a game where, as you said, if Embiid doesn't play, we'd expect a little more pace.
Right.
And if Embiid does play, we expect him to dominate the middle. So I think we're on the winning side either way. Over 216.5 for me.
Yeah, that's some good points there. Yeah, I'm seeing maybe Kawhi is questionable tonight for the Clippers. I thought I saw something that he's going to be out for a little while, but I'm just, who knows, man. I can't tell you, man. I'll be honest with you guys. Being perfectly honest, I don't want to lose anybody money. I don't have any action on anything today. When I get things figured out, I'll have free picks. Still come on here, do the show every day, breaking down some games. See what I'm saying? But today I'm watching, I'm learning, man. I'm not a fan of losing my money. They're starting to get to that BS with the injury report and all this shit, man. Not the good teams are not playing motivated right now. The bad teams are playing motivated. So I guess in theory, we should be taking the teams that look ugly right now. Then they get smashed by 20, 25 points, and then we can't be surprised one bit. In theory, not looking at the names on the jerseys, if I was capping them like they were robots tonight, I'd be taking the Nets. I'd be taking them early and often here. They did get their quality check, but mainly on the rest advance. My guy Ski in the chat, that's what I'll be doing all week, man. I'm only looking at teams with the major rest advantage, and it's a fade of one team playing a ton of games in a ton of days, and it's also going with the other team that has a lot more energy there. So in theory, Pacers will be a fade today. Fifth straight road game, fifth game in 8 days, 7th in 11, my guys. So in theory, it's a terrible spot for the Pacers today. I'm not saying that I'm on the Nets today, but if I had a play, that's what I would be looking at today. It's not capping the names of the jerseys or even the names of the teams. It's simply just looking at Team A versus Team B, my guys. And I would be looking towards the home team in that one for things to especially get ugly in the second half. So not something that I'm betting, but I do think that the Pacers would be in a fade spot here today, my guys. We're always trying to cash here. Appreciate my guy Rob coming on the show, man. You can follow him on Twitter at Rob Veno Sports. You can follow me as well at J Money is Money, man. We back tomorrow. Hopefully you have some picks, man. But like I say, I hope you guys appreciate me not trying to just toss you out anything. You see what I'm saying? To have some action, right. Not trying to lose, man. We always trying to win. We will win, my guys. Us against the bookies. We will get things figured out. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Appreciate your time, man. We back tomorrow. We out.